the racing bulls will keep at it. Demar with Widget, Ziggy and James Killer. Enter James! James Killer round the outside as he got the move done. It's a big opportunity, but the Aston Martin stays firm and retains P8 for Ziggy Singleton. James Killer certainly had a chance there, but couldn't quite make it stick round the outside. He just has to stick in behind in P9, but some good battling going on with a couple of bits of contact as well, particularly with the Aston Martin pairing. But Demar, Widget, Ziggy and James Killer all fighting hard up to P6 in this battle. Let's head up to the front now, because Batman, who had dropped a back from Bevan, all of a sudden is in DRS range within half a second, down the main pit straight, into turn 1. This has got to be his big chance, and Batman leads. Does he? Because Bevan breaks even later. Batman cuts the corner, and Bevan retains the lead of this Grand Prix. We thought Batman was going to take it, but he doesn't take it on. PRV Widget side by side here with Demar. Demar round the outside. He holds it together. There's a move from Ziggy. Ziggy down the inside. Has he got it together as well? And off track goes Widget, and there goes Ziggy. He is through, and here comes a chance for James Killer on the inside. Oh, that was close. Widget just closing the door. James Killer not making the move, and Widget just holding on to 8th position. That could have certainly been a bit of contact between Widget and James Killer just there. Kesenator with a 3-second penalty joining Widget on that list, as there's another chance here for James Killer just to look down the inside on PRV Widget. With James Killer on the soft compounder tyre as well. Compare that to PRV Widget, who's opted for the hards on the start of this race. Right, let's stick here with this battle then. Maybe we could drop down actually. Rotti just in a battle here with Wilco, going side by side again on the inside line. But, oh, a little bit of contact there, so Rotti just drops in behind. Wilco may have just lagged a little bit there from what I saw as well. I'll go towards Goofy within a 1/10 of a second as well, just dropping back to 2/10, and obviously with a bit of dirty air, now falls back to about 3/10 of a second. Might have a chance on the rear of Kesenator here, and you've also got the battle up the front, but nothing doing as our Bevan still ahead of Batman, so he still leads this Grand Prix. Just going to see if Rotti maybe thinks about a move on Wilco as well. Just staying in behind, keeping him company for this Grand Prix so far. Remaining in P13, but can Rotti find his way up into the top 10? That'll be crucial for his race here. Oh, as he just goes into the rear of Wilco there. It was a heavy bit of contact. Could have a bit of damage there potentially for Rotti, as Kesenator did cut the corner previously as well. He's also all over the rear of Rotti, and maybe a little bit of dirty air just affecting the aerodynamics of Kesenator there as well. But let's go towards the front of the race, because Bevan and Batman, 2/10 of a second covering them. Batman keeping it close. Where will the first time penalty be for anybody in that top 7? That'll be a question. Will it be for one of these top 2? Bevan and Batman, how close they're running together in that dirty air can certainly knock you wide, knock your confidence as well. So Batman will have the DRS down a straight, and again, surely he is close enough. James Killer receives a penalty, joins Widget and Kes now. So 3 drivers with a time penalty. And we are now going to move that back. Maybe we'll just show the penalties. There you go. So Batman and Bevan, and Batman does take the lead away from Bevan. So back into P1 for the Williams driver. And Bevan therefore just has to drop in behind for P2. We'll drop back again. Rotti and Wilco and Kesenator. Kesenator going for the move. Kesenator finding some pace here. That Monaco practice doing him good here in the Alpine at Qatar. P13 for Kesenator. He overtakes Wilco, and he's made a position up. And Wilco just going a little bit wide there. Will put him under pressure from Goofy in the kick sabre, the lead kick sabre as well, might I add. Will be a disappointing race so far for that kick sabre team, after a promising start to the season for their tier 1 and 2 drivers. So let's head back up the order then to Bevan just behind Batman. We might drop back towards Goofy if he keeps staying close to Wilco. The gap just over 2/10, but he has dropped way back now to 7/10, so a mistake being made there. Goofy actually makes a mistake enough to take a 3-second time penalty as well. But we are going to stick here with Bevan. 8/10 of the gap. But look at this. Angry Badger is within DRS range as well. Will he also get DRS down the straight? Yes, he does. Angry Badger has caught up to this two-way battle at the front. It's now a three-way battle. And even Shazam, it's not too far away. DD Friend as well. All of that top five are in steady pace with the two runners at the front now. So Badger, Shazam and DD Friend all running on a par with the front two. Batman and Bevan not running away here in this Grand Prix. So Angry Badger will see this as an opportunity for the pole sitter. Having fallen outside of the podium places into turn one, thinking he's some Lando Norris regen, all of a sudden he's picked up the pace and thinks, you know what, I could actually win this race. And Angry Badger has done that relatively well. Let's drop back towards 50 Gent. Just for the moment he was within a tenth of a second, braking late, almost clattering into James Kidder, avoiding the contact there. And Cowley also now, after that damage he made earlier on, Goofy in fact, has pitted. So both Kick Saubers are pitted in this race so far. And there's a stop situation for you as well. So 4 drivers have boxed, and we're down to the top 14 who have yet to make a pit stop. But the most recent was Goofy in P17, as our Kesonator now receives a 3-second time penalty. Let's head back up the order, because Bevan will potentially not have DRS. He's going to run it close. Does he have DRS here on the straight? He does. So he was just about within 1 second at the activation point, because he did go to 1.1 seconds behind through into the final corner at turn 16. But luckily for him, he does stay in DRS range. So Batman, Bevan, Angry Badger, 4/10 of a second back. Shazam has been caught by DD Friend as well. So DD Friend showing some promising pace here for the Mercedes. But we'll drop it back because James Kidder and 50 Gent going out of battle. What a camera angle there. We almost missed it all. But 50 Gent on the inside this time. A bit of contact again. James Kidder just about losing the place. Of 50 Gent finds his way up into P9 as our Kesonator makes his first pit stop of the race. Potentially first of 2, you'd expect. Is it a 2-stop strategy or is it a 1-stop strategy? Well, it seems to be some drivers are thinking it's certainly a 2-stop. Would anybody risk a 1-stop strategy here at Qatar? That will be the question for those drivers. As we head up the field towards Angry Badger. Still half a second back from your top 2, but Bevan still just struggling a little bit to stick with Batman. 1.1 behind now. He won't be getting DRS. Bevan will be under attack here from Angry Badger. There will be no DRS in store. So this is a big opportunity for Angry Badger. The chance he's been waiting for. No DRS on the McLaren ahead. Papaya, well, will they retain P2? Because Angry Badger on the inside does not quite get alongside. Diddy Friend is up at a P4. He's through on Shazam. He's been picking up the pace in the last few laps. And Diddy Friend now has a chance. By the way, both Mercedes of Ivy and Viva have got 4th place finishes through Tier 1 and Tier 2. Will Diddy Friend also get a 4th place finish for Mercedes and make it a 3-way 4th place finish for the Mercedes team? We'll see. But Diddy Friend getting through on Shazam there. You've got Batman, Bevan, Angry Badger, a little bit of an error there from Angry Badger. Potentially just getting too close towards Bevan with the dirty air on the exit of the corner instead this time. Or possibly just getting too much onto the throttle. But there you go, Angry Badger still in behind Bevan. But still looking good for Batman out in front. 1.3 seconds clear. He's definitely looking like he's on for a result here. Mr. Piggy for the last places, just ahead of Goofy. Yes, you do get points all the way down to last as well. So that's why we try and pick up most battles if we can. Mr. Piggy up into P17. Goofy just dropping into P18. And we'll return back up to the front. Nope, I lied. We're actually going to drop towards 50 Gent just for now. See if we can get close towards PRV Widget. Would he even risk an overtake here? Heading into the final sector of this lap. And we have started lap 10 now. So Angry Badger, here we go on Bevan. Has he finally got the move done? Yes, he has. And Bevan there just had to fall short of the battle into turn 1. And Angry Badger up into second. The pole sitter chasing down Batman. So I Am Batman still leading. 50 Gent, P8 just ahead of PRV Widget, making a move into turn 1. So a good move there for the McLaren. And both McLarens, in fact, up into the top 8. So good job from both Bevan and 50 Gent. And then you've got Cinders, Rotti in P11, Wilco, James Keller, who is the lead car of those who has pitted. He is in P13 for the Alpine team. Now the tyre situation there for you as well as Mr. Potwash. Is that enough of his mediums? Mr. Potwash is pitting again. 2 stops inside 10 laps for Potwash. And this looks like a race to forget for Kick Sauber. How can I join? Well, great question. If somebody can just pop in the Discord link, then you will be able to join that way into our Discord. So hopefully somebody will pop in a link for you to join. User 11. Interesting name. Maybe you're the 11th user in the history of TikTok. Who knows? Let's go further up then, because Badger certainly lost out and lost ground there. And into the pits goes Bevan and DD Friend. Let's get the stop situation back on for you as well. So here goes the Papaya into the pits, and also you got DD Friend going on to a set of the hard tyres. We're actually going to get the lap data on, because you can see what the tyres are in the top right of your screen as well. But there's your stop situations. So Bevan and DD Friend both in. Where do they come out onto the track? Bevan will come out behind Rotti. Will Rotti play the team game here to potentially hold up Bevan and allow DD Friend to get back into it? We shall see. This could be interesting here for Bevan. Will Rotti hold him up on this lap? And you've also got PRV Widget just out of the pits behind James Kidder as well. Wilco also there at P11, but he is just so far ahead of James Kidder still, so unlikely that Wilco will be able to hold up James Kidder for Widget. Mr. Potwash, 3-second penalty. It goes from bad to worse for the Kick Saubers, doesn't it? Their potential title hopes from round 1, well, they're not going well, but luckily for them, 11 rounds still to go after tonight. And who knows, a safety car could bring them back into play from this evening. So we'll see on that situation. Let's go back up the front then. Batman ahead of Angry Badger. These were the top 2 before Bevan made that pit stop. DD Friend was in 4th as well. So you could just see how much Shazam's dropped off, in fact. Shazam is down in net P5, or was net P5. He still is, I think. I think he will just about be ahead of James Keller. But it's running it close for Shazam. He might want to think about a pit stop here if he wants to clear James Keller when he does pit. Otherwise, he may very well fall behind, and he might even be getting close to that point already. Bevan then does get clear of Rotti down the straight, and Bevan up into the top 8 then. So Rotti still yet to pit on those hard compound tyres, don't forget. But Bevan is your leader from those who has made a pit stop. A tyre situation there for you as well. Again, fresh hards for Bevan, fresh hards also for DD Friend. Is it a 1-stop? Is it a 2-stop? Remains to be seen. They may think about a 1-stop. Again, if you could go this long on the mediums, the likes of Batman, Ziggy, 50 Gent, they will definitely be looking at a 1-stop strategy at this point in the race, surely. Right, we'll go back to this screen and then see back at the front. Batman, Badger. Well, Badger's certainly not going to think about a pit stop. He's on the hards. Batman's on the mediums. So they might be thinking, you know what? Badger's got very strong pace on those hards. And into the pits goes Batman. So he does effectively undercut his rival Badger. But, again, he was on the softer compound of the tyre. So let's see where Batman comes out in comparison. Again, you'll probably be looking at Bevan as the key target for him. So can Batman get out ahead of Bevan? He's going for the hard. He will go to the end. Bevan, is he going to be close here? The McLaren of 50 Gents got through. Let's see where Bevan comes out in this battle. So here we go. Batman, you've got the McLaren there as well. But Batman is going side by side with Bevan. Bevan swoops round the outside. And has Bevan got the place? Yes, he does. So Bevan stays ahead of Batman, but only just about making it. And you know what could help Bevan here is a bit of DRS going on to the main straight from Cinders ahead. That could be a chance here for Bevan, you know. If he gives himself a gap of, say, half a second to Cinders, finds all the battery, gets through Cinders, he could use Cinders as that driver to hold up Batman. This could be a good strategic opportunity here for Bevan. He doesn't want to get too close to Cinders, because if he's too close to Cinders, Batman will be close as well. You don't want Batman to follow you through down the pit straight. There's a chance for Bevan. Definitely a chance to open up a gap for Batman by having a car in between the two drivers. Obviously, this is your net race leader's Angry Badger on the hard, so he will pit later on for the one-stop strategy. But into the pits goes Shazam as well now. So Shazam doing what he feels is the best strategy for him. He's on the hards. Is he going to go for the one-stop medium to the end from the hard tyres? He's going to go medium, so it looks like a one-stop for Shazam, but it's a very early one-stop. Very early. Here goes Bevan then. Bevan on the inside of Cinders, and he looks like he's trying that play, but Batman wants to follow him in. Batman almost there. But Cinder stays ahead, but for how much longer? Here goes Batman. Round the outside he goes. Has he got himself a chance? Round the outside goes Batman on Cinders on the inside, and he gets the place done. Through goes the Williams of Batman. That's a big chance to win the title as well with moves like that. So he's following through on Bevan, and they're up into 4th and 5th, net P1, net P2. Cinders did hold him up for a little bit of time, but they do find safe passage, and up the order they go. DD Friend not too far back as well. He will like to get DRS on the rear Cinders on this lap as well. So DD Friend hoping to find his way up the order, and again may challenge for a podium later on. Remains to be seen for the Mercedes driver here. And Batman is over a second back from Bevan, even though he made that move from Cinders. I don't know if that cost him all of his ERS potentially for Batman, but he's dropped back here at 1 second, but he's trying to get himself back in. He's going to have to push hard, and he is pushing hard. He's using all of the curb, and he's within 1 second. He will stay in DRS range. He holds it together for the Williams there. And now Batman down the straight. I don't think he's going to have a chance to get a move done, but I do think this man's got a chance. DD Friend. And here we go on Cinders. Bevan fast lap 26.0. You do get a point for the fastest lap as well here in UFRL. So DD Friend does get his way through on Cinders, up into 5th, 3 seconds to the 2 cars ahead. And that, of course, being Bevan and Batman. But what does Angry Badger think he's doing at the moment? Does he think he's on with a good chance of a result, of a win? I think that's got to be what Angry Badger has got a challenge for, the race win. But he's on the hard tyres, still got to probably do maybe a couple more laps on them. Don't know, does he go to lap 17 potentially and then go mediums to the end? I mean, he's definitely doing a one-stop, no doubt about that. Some drivers are already on the 2-stop. Potwash, Piggy, Goofy, Potwash may even need to pit again. He'll hope to avoid it, however. Let's go back towards Batman then. Gap within 0.2 of a second. Now just opening up a little bit again on corner exit, but Bevan still in with the net race lead in this race. Batman net P2. Net P3 could be close between DD Friend and Angry Badger. You might feel Badger by the end of the race will certainly have his eyes on that win, but surely at least the podium should be coming out of this for the Ferrari. Dimar is into the pits for the Aston Martin, getting rid of those hard tyres. But let's stick on with this then. Batman with slightly fresher tyres than the Papaya. Bevan putting away, burning battery as well. But Batman is also burning. They're going at it into turn 1. Batman or Bevan? It will be Batman. A little bit of contact from the rear of the McLaren, but nothing severe. So Batman has the net race lead again. He's taken it away from Bevan. Further down, obviously, Dimar just out of the pits ahead of Ziggy Singleton. You've also got Cinders finding his way out of the pits. He might just be in a battle with the Mercedes of Rotti. Rotti just coming down the pit straight there, so it will be pretty close between the two. Rotti might just edge his way ahead, and he has done. So Rotti ahead of Cinders and up into P12. Let's go back towards this battle. Batman and Bevan, the gap under 20 seconds to Angry Badger in the race lead, and Angry Badger on the hard tyres yet to pit. The only driver yet to pit in this race is the Ferrari. After such a strong performance last night, again I won't spoil it for those who hasn't watched it, but they had a fantastic result for the Ferrari duo. Not just one of them as well, for both drivers. Very strong performances. But for tonight, can they follow in with a strong performance? Well, here we go, as Bevan has got himself a penalty as well. So 3 seconds now for Bevan. Into the pits goes your Racing the Badger. Yellow flags for an Alpine of James Kidder. James Kidder fell off track into the final sector. Cowney with a time penalty now. I do wonder if that was to avoid James Kidder at all. Angry Badger is out of the pits in 4th, and there's a pretty large gap to your podium sitters here. Batman's got himself a chance. He has himself a chance. Let's now go away from that. Let's check on the tyres. We probably won't check on it too much in the race. Batman 4 laps. Bevan, DD Friend 6. Badger on fresh mediums now. So he's got a 6-lap cover on Bevan and DD Friend 4 laps advantage on Batman. So that's the situation for you. And as the position changes, up 9 for 50 Gent. He is by far the biggest gainer in the race. But we are just going to stick in this battle for the meantime. Might actually drop down Cowley. Let's have a look at him just behind James Kidder. This is for a place in the top 10 as well. So we're just going to stick at this one between the Red Bull and the Alpine. Good chance for Cowley to get himself a top 10. Again, obviously, you do get points all the way down to P20. I know it's 18 driver, so you will get points down to P18 as well. But for Cowley in this one, he'll be looking at a top 10 for a strong start on the wheel. Well, is it his first ever race on the wheel? I know he's definitely his first race in UFRL on the wheel. I'm presuming it is his first ever race on the wheel. But yes, P11 at the moment for Cowley. See if he could challenge James Kidder and find his way up the order. Batman still leads with over a second on Bevan now. So I Am Batman does look strong here in this race for Williams. As Cowley edging closer towards James Kidder. Into the pits goes Widget. James Kidder, 3-second penalty, opening up the door here for Cowley. And Cowley finds his way up into P9 ahead of James Kidder. So James Kidder with that extra penalty now has to drop down the order. Actually, that's what I'm going to get on. There you go, penalties. So James Kidder drops to P10. And he has the extra 3 seconds on not just Cowley, but also Rotti. Cinders, no penalties well in P12. So at the moment, Cinders, if he can manage the tyres and the battery, could even end up nicely into the top 10 here for Ferrari. Just checking on. Not a lot going on right now at the front, but watch out for Angry Badger. DD Fred also. Watch out for the Mercedes. He is closing a little bit on Bevan. A gap down to less than 2.5 seconds for DD Friend. He might be looking at a podium, especially when you factor in Bevan has that penalty. 3 seconds. Yeah, first race on the wheel, yeah. Thank you, Luke. I was pretty sure it was his first race. I knew it was his first in UFRL. I wasn't certain if it was his first ever. So, there you go. Right. Angry Badger 25.302, fastest lap, fastest man on circuit, undeniably. But Angry Badger's now caught up to DRS on DD Friend ahead. And you know what? DD Friend could be smart here. He might just think, you know what? I know I'm going to lose the place to Angry Badger. I know that's going to happen. So you know what? DD Friend could say, I'm actually just going to try and use your DRS as much as I can to keep within that 3-second window of Bevan. This could be a chance for DD Friend. If he plays it smart, play it wisely, he can get back in. Tyre situation again. I don't want to show it too much, but that because it covers up so much of the screen, as you can see. But James Kidder 10 laps battling here with Rotti. Rotti on the inside line here for the Mercedes. Just out of view, back into view now. But James Kidder just fending off the Mercedes Challenger. Now Cinders is caught up, although we did go off track there as well. So Rotti, James Kidder and Cowley. Cowley on much older tyres, Rotti on very nice fresh tyres. Cowley made a stop early in the race. James Kidder, here we go, right on the rear of this battle. Rotti wants to find his way through as well. Just got to play it nice and calm. He will get a chance with the DRS as well. I will go up the order just briefly because Angry Badger will now find his way through on DD Friend. We're going to get that away as well. Back to the penalty situation. But there you go. That was the tyre situation deck. And Angry Badger does get his way through. But let's drop back down to this battle. because there are going to be some battles going on down the main pit straight here. Cowley, James Killer, Rotty, Cinders, Cowley on much older tyres, but preserving them pretty well. He is now into the pits, and James Killer joins him. James Killer thinks it's Japan all over. He thinks he's right behind Doug. It's not Doug, James Killer, I can promise you. It's Cowley this time, but he's followed him in. So that leaves Rotty and Cinders both in the top 10. Interesting. We'll head back up the order. Batman 2 seconds ahead of Bevan. Bevan with the penalty. Badger as it stands. Net P2 on the better tyres. DD Friend as it stands. Net P3. Podium for the Mercedes at the moment for DD Friend. So looking good for those three teams. Williams, Ferrari and Mercedes. Haas finally on for a strong position. Their best performance this season so far coming from Shazam. But then again, Shazam's done 2 out of 3 performances for the Haas team this season. For Aston Martin, Demar and Ziggy, looks like a double top 7 for them. Rotty with another penalty, 6 seconds in total. He will lose the place as a result to Cinders. Again, no doubt about that. Angry Badger, once again, quickest driver, 125.2. He's absolutely rapid out there. You see the pit stops, you can indeed, there you go, 1 stops for the majority, 2 stops for some, but 1 stop seems to be the one. So Angry Badger back within the DRS range of Bevan as well, so a crucial part of the race here for Angry Badger, 0.7 of a second back to Bevan, so a big opportunity for the Ferrari. Kesney, a 3-second time penalty. Fair play to Goofy for saying the race. Yeah, he's just trying to get those points away. What mentions well? I haven't actually mentioned his name, Kesnator. I know he's got 12 seconds of penalties, but he's P12. Kesnator, P12 out of 18 drivers for Kesnator. He was, I will say, he was by far and large the slowest driver when it came to the time trials. Yet he's still there. Mr. Potwasher's pitting again for Kick Sauber. Yeah, this has not been the one for the Kick Sauber team. Might want to do some work with their 2 drivers. Mr. Potwash has potential for tier 3 to battle for the title, but not on this showing. Not on this showing, it's not. Again, it's 1 race out of 12. Anything can still happen in the season. Cinders overtaking Rotty. So a good move from Cinders there. Again, he doesn't have any penalties. If Rotty could keep it nice and firm, he can still get P10 hit, even though he's got the penalties. And finally, Angry Badger displaces Bevan up into P2. Angry Badger closing in now, he will hope, on Batman. We could have a battle all the way to the end between Batman and Badger. DD Friend, will he see himself with a chance of winning this race? He will certainly think a podium is on. He is well within the 3 seconds of Bevan, almost within DRS range. And we're going to drop back down towards Rotty because again, he's in DRS and Cinders just working at it at the moment. And Rotty pulls to the right hand side and makes the move as well. Up into P9 goes Rotty. Although he does stay side by side here with Cinders in the Ferrari, but Rotty just edging his car ahead. Oh, we're making him do that Monaco practice every week, I think. I mean, it seems to have worked. It's an absolute miracle. But maybe the one thing Kesnator needed before races was practice at Monaco. Even though Monaco is not on any of the calendars, Kesnator just needs practice at Monaco. That's all he needs to do. Then he will get himself a good result. And for me, yes, he's going to drop a few places, but what, P15 with a penalty situation? P15 out of 18 drivers. I don't remember the last time Kesnator did not finish, like, last or bottom 2 or something like that. So you know what? Kesnator has had a tremendous race here, you know, for himself. Fantastic from him. As we go back up towards... Actually, no, we'll stick at this battle. Rotty and Cinders. Angry Badger 1.8 back from Batman. Bevan out of DRS as well now. It will give DD Friend a chance to close back into DRS on the Papaya. Just see here with Cinders, but he goes wide as well. He does not want to pick up penalties. A 3-second penalty could put his position in a precarious position. And buzzing his P12. Yeah, again, he will drop. Cowley has just overtaken him as well. And there you go, Rotty just going back through, or well, defending it from Cinders. Again, Cinders does not want to pick up a time penalty. 3 seconds will just make him a little bit more shaky up against Rotti's 6 seconds, because he knows if he drops 3 seconds, he will lose a place. Is there any space? Gatekeeper! I remember you, Gatekeeper. Hello. Well, hello again. I think you used to race in Tier 2, if memory serves me correct. Yes, if somebody could pop the Discord in. Thank you, Woody. Just seen you do that. Fantastic stuff. But yes, welcome back in. It'd be nice to see you back racing. Yes, there will be spaces available. Not too many left, however. Tier 2. Is Tier 2 full now, or getting close to full? It is very close. I think it might even be full. Right. Let's have a look further up the order. There were yellow flags. It's just for the kick sample of Goofy being lapped. But the gap between Batman and Badger has opened up to 2.3 seconds. Bevan, 2.4 seconds as well. DD Friend just sticking outside a 1 second window, but again, he will get the P3 due to the penalty for the McLaren. And you got Ziggy and Dimar, the 2 Aston Martins working well. P5 and P6, PRV Widget with a time penalty as well, down in P11. It looks like PRV Widget's run of not getting a top 10 finish since season 8 will continue even tonight, unfortunately for him. So Rotti's in the Shazam. Shazam's pitted onto fresh softs. This will be interesting. We'll keep an eye out for Shazam. DD Friend also is within DRS range of Bevan. Again, I know DD Friend will get a net P3, so he looks like he's in a good place for that, but he would love to get P3 on track. And he might have given himself an opportunity here, because Bevan is dropping back here, the gap to within 3/10 now for DD Friend. It's had a very good performance from DD Friend. Fantastic from him. And now he wants to find his way up onto the podium. And here we go. A chance for DD Friend. Badger still closing in a little bit now on Batman. Back to 1.7 seconds. DD Friend on the inside of Bevan. It's close, but Bevan holds it round the outside. So DD Friend just not quite finding his way up into 3rd place. I'll drop back to Ziggy as well. The 2 Aston Martins continue to work well together in P5 and P6. And what about Shazam? Don't forget, on the fresh rubber now. Check the tyre situation. There you go. So fresh rubber for Shazam. Here we go, as Angry Badger has left the session. Rotti with a 10-second penalty. I don't know what he's pitted for. Badger needs an invite back in. I'm not sure why he's disconnected, but he's disconnected, and this could cost him a P2 or even a battle for the win. That should surely give Batman the victory now. I can't do it. Viking. Hopefully Viking Fox, and if somebody can ask Viking Fox to give him an invite, please, for Angry Badger. His name on EA is, I know it's like Steve Cope, something like that. So you'll have to look for Steve Cope, because it doesn't show up as Angry Badger. But yes, can somebody ask Viking Fox, please, to try to invite him back? If he doesn't have him back, I will send him an invite. That would be ideal, because obviously I want to try and keep watch of the action here. But let's try and stick... I'm going to do it. I'm going to send him an invite, because I don't even know if he's showing up online. He doesn't normally for me. Because he doesn't normally, he's going to be on this list. There you go. Right, he should be able to join back on that. Right, here we go. DD Friend through on Bevan. Has he finally got it this time? Yes, he does! DD Friend up into P2. And he's up the order. I think Angry Badger's AI has in fact pitted him. So DD Friend is legitimately in 2nd position. He bypasses Bevan. For whatever reason, there's a massive gap showing to Batman. Batman is 8.4 seconds clear of DD Friend. Is that even legit? That is absolutely insane to have such a large gap. But DD Friend gets through on Bevan, and he is now into 2nd place. What a result this will be for the Mercedes, and Bevan as well in 3rd. The 2 Aston Martins working well. P4 for Dimar, P5 for Ziggy. They'll be delighted with their race as well. Ferrari of Badger, P6. It's on fresh meat. For whatever reason, the AI has pitted him for fresh mediums and not fresh softs. I have sent him an invite back in, so again, Badger should be able to get back in. Again, if he needs another invite, please let me know. Not on the Discord, because again, I'm not in the Discord right now. There you go, Badger's back in, so he should be able to get back in his car, and you want to hold on to P6. He might have a battle with 50 Gentno on the horizon. Further back. Again, I'm not certain why Rotti pitted. Could he have stayed out? The 10-second penalty will lose him a place to Mr. Piggy. Actually, it may only lose him one spot, so Rotti should still get P14 from that. That was lining up for a great battle in the last few laps. It was. It really was. Ziggy and Dimar once again trading places. P4 and P5. So, again, a terrific result for the Aston Martin pairing here. And they do look like they will have the lead of the Constructors' Championship, excluding penalties, of course, in tiers 1, 2 and 3. But it looks like the combined championship will be led by Aston Martin after round 1. So yes, looking good for their drivers. Ziggy and Dimar in the top 5 here this evening. Let's drop back down here because Cowley up ahead of PRV Widget, and Cowley, despite the struggles on lap 1, he's now up into the top 10. Rotti also the fastest lap. The fastest lap point will only go down to P10, so if you don't have the fastest lap, well, if you have the fastest lap and are not in the top 10, you will not get the extra point. So as things stands, Rotti will not get the bonus point. But he is in P13 as well. Shazam, meanwhile, 3-second penalty. So he will not gain any more than P8. Angry Badger, but you can see the pace he has because he's unlocked it again. 3 seconds and a 50 gent. Sadly for him, it looks like it's game over in terms of battling the Aston Martins. But there you go. It will be a P6 for Angry Badger. Sadly for him. Could have been a battle for the win. Bevan this time, rounding the outside on Didi Fred again. Didi Fred may not worry too much about that as Goofy receives his next penalty, 15 seconds in total. But yeah, I don't think Didi Fred will be too worried about losing out due to Bevan's penalty, but he will get a chance on the final lap of this race, as you do have the kick Sauber there of Mr. Potwash this time. Both kick Saubers have been lapped in this race. Kesonator also has been lapped as well by Batman. Let's see then, back with Didi Friend. We are approaching the final stage of this race. Well, we are certainly within the final stages, but the final lap is on the horizon. Let's go Cowley, doing well for being on wheel for a few weeks, I agree. Yeah, Cowley in P10, and it looks like he will get that top 10 finish as well. We've got one final major battle, it seems here. Bevan and Didi Friend. It looks like it's done on paper with a 3-second penalty in mind. But can Didi Friend open up a chance and get the move done on track? Batman will now start the final lap of the Grand Prix. He has got the victory sewn up in what has been not quite so dominant. Oh, close there. See McLaren almost losing the car, but Didi Friend very swiftly is through on the McLaren, and Didi Friend up into second position. So it will be a P2 for Didi Friend. Bevan, is he struggling to beat off Ziggy for third place? Ziggy Singleton, all of a sudden, back to within 5 seconds. He only needs to be within 3 seconds, and Ziggy continues to gain time here on Bevan. Could he yet get a podium for the Aston Martin team? It's going to potentially run it close. You've got Widget and you've got Bevan there as... Widget and Rotti, sorry, closing in on James Killer. Sadly for Rotti, the penalties will see him drop even behind Mr. Piggy. But then you've got Widget, James Killer are legitimately fighting for position here. And here goes Widget. A defence from James, and Widget flies through with all the speed in the world. He is up into P11. P11 for Widget and James Killer. Rotti go around the outside, never really on. But Rotti in P13. But we are going to go away because it is getting to the final stages. Entering in at turn 16. I Am Batman will take a round 1 victory for Williams. Batman delivers. He flies through. Didi Friend will take a first Mercedes podium of the season. It's P2 for Didi Friend. And Bevan will lose out because Ziggy is on the podium for Aston Martin. P3 Ziggy Singleton. P4 for Bevan. The McLaren losing out, and Dimar at the line has pipped Angry Badger for 5th. How close was that? Angry Badger came back from the disconnection to almost get a top 5. It will be P6 for Badger, P7 for 50 Gent, P8 for Shazam. Cinders will come through without any penalties for a 9th place finish for the Ferrari as well. Rotti with another penalty. Yellow flags through the final sector as well. There you go, Cinders for P9. Cowley will come home in P10. James Killer, these guys are still all the way battling. And James Killer now will come home in P12 because Widget gets James Killer. James Killer was out of fuel. So Widget P11, James Killer P12, Rotti will drop behind Mr. Piggy. So Mr. Piggy P13, Rotti P14, and then Wilco will come home in P15, Mr. Potwash P16, Kesonator P17, Goofy P18, but your race winner will be Batman. Here we go for the podium celebrations as well. So let's just keep watch of them, and then we will need to think about a driver of the day as well. Quite a few strong performers in there. Right, well, according to the game, race winner, Batman, obviously we saw that. Fastest lap, Rotti, but didn't finish in the top 10, so no bonus points. Driver of the day, the in-game driver of the day goes to 50 Gent, and the most overtakes, Cinders. So there you go, those are your situations there. Right, now let's have a look at the full classification. Batman with the victory from 4th on the grid. DD P2, Ziggy on the podium as well for the Aston Martin after a last gasp hit to beat off Bevan, who finishes in P4. Demar 5th, a double Aston Martin top 5. Badger 6th, then 50 Gent in P7. Shazam, Cinders and Cowley in the top 10. Widget, James Kidder, Piggy, Rotti, Wilco, Potwash, Kesonator and Goofy all down into P18. Drive of the day, I mean, it's a few contenders. 50 Gent done very strongly as well. Did say Ziggy, DD Friend was in there as well. Batman, a very strong performance. Angry Badger, got to feel sorry for him, but obviously he was on pole, he dropped down, he had a Lando Novice type start and fell down into 4th place by turn 1. But he did pick it back up, did find his way up into the top 2, and then all of a sudden, when he thought he had a chance to win, it got pushed away from him. And sadly, Angry Badger down in 6th place right at the end. There was no, deck. So there wasn't any for tier 2 either. I think it's just a glitch from the game, to be honest. It keeps doing that for whatever reason. So yeah, they keep doing that, even though drivers didn't get any penalties or anything, which doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it's a bit silly from the game. But again, gotta love a good old EA glitch. Right. I'm gonna have a look back at the results because we've got to figure out who the driver of the day should be. Let's have a look then. But yeah, 50 Gent said on there 18th to 7th. Yeah, again, did say very strong performance, picked up some good places. Would he say Ziggy driver of the day? Possibly. I mean, let's have a look again. So we did say those few drivers there. We're going to wait for my screenshots to show. But for Batman, he gained a few places as well, don't forget. Batman, DD Friend, all of those on the podium, in fact, did have good races. Ziggy right at the end getting that final overtake in. And then 50 Gent gained, 11 spots? P18 to P7. Could certainly make a case for 50 Gent. Cowley as well. I think Cowley's got to be an outside chance of it as well. Don't forget he started in a good place. But lap 1, he had damage. He had to pit for repairs. On lap 1, we had no safety car, no virtual safety car, no red flag. So purely by racecraft and pushing nicely on a wheel, by the way, which is his first ever race on wheel, he found his way up into P10, despite all 18 drivers finishing. So County done really well. So I wouldn't discredit anything that County did after the damage. But lap 1, obviously, I'm presuming will be looked at. You do imagine, particularly by those near the back of the field. But yeah, for driver of the day, I'm gonna have to think about it. I don't think I'll announce it on the stream. It'll be a closed run thing. So I will think about it, but I won't confirm the driver of the day right now. I just think give myself a little bit of time before thinking about it. Because there's a few drivers who are in contention for it. I'll just have to think about how the race went again. Possibly rewatch a few bits before deciding upon that driver of the day. But again, great racing, the likes of Batman in particular coming through, getting that win for the first victory of the season. Again, congratulations to the podium, Didi Friend and Ziggy. When was the last time Ziggy found himself on a podium? Amazing stuff. And also 50 Gent gaining 11 places, Cowley in the top 10. So those are probably your 5 contenders. But who will get the driver of the day? We'll find out. But for this evening, for UFRL, I have been UFRL F1 Beaver. We have been UFRL. Thank you for watching. We'll be back on Friday night for the 100% tier. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Engines roar, the lights go down. Adrenaline runs through the battleground. We face the edge, no time to break. One shot to win, one line to take.